Yeah, as I already said, the thing is, you have at the moment, especially if you're a smaller company and you're not producing thousands and thousands of plates per year, you have a situation where you have a product which is made for small scale processes, and they are always expensive. Now you have to make a transition to a mass production systematic, and that's exactly what it does. You have to bring it into, in this case, into a sheet metal solution. Yes, that's difficult because where you have to get over a hump here. You have to invest in some toolings upfront, which are sometimes difficult to do to get the benefit back in the part price. But the good news is that this is done pretty fast, faster than you might think. So a few thousand, a lower number of thousand plates per year is sometimes already enough to justify this, because yes, there are tooling costs, but the reduction of part prices is pretty drastic. So in my experience, typically you can get about 50% cheaper than the edge plate version, and this makes up a lot. So I would really advise to get into the step not too late to make it happen, because what you also have to think of, if you change into a sheet metal version, it's a bit different in the geometry, of course. And so you have to adjust somehow the stack to it. So you have to think it as a whole system together with your supplier, which does the bipolar plates, and you have to engineer it a bit together. So this is not just switching out. Yes, the benefit is high, but you have to make something advanced to really get it working. And it's a good way, I think, to get through it pretty early and develop into the solution early so that you can reap the benefits afterwards, which is done pretty fast. And you will have to, because as soon as the quantities will be ramped up in the future, and we all know the point will come, we just don't know exactly when and how fast, but it will come, and it will be fast to some degree at the point. Now imagine you have still an edge plate version, which may be fine for a few thousand plates still, but then you have to ramp up to 100,000, which are typical numbers that we see. And this, you're not able to follow that fast. So you have to think of this pretty fast and integrate it into your tests to validate it, and then you are ready to go. And the good thing is the invest cost at the start is not as high as you would expect, because there are intermediate solutions to this. So you can get already on a mass production process, but get some steps in more traditional, slower versions, which are cheaper for investments, but you can seamlessly ramp up. So pretty convinced that you have to go this route sooner or later. And then, interestingly, if you see what typical step costs are, and if you calculate it through with the mass production costs, you can, I would say, reduce 50% of the stack costs in the end, if you do this for all parts involved to get into a mass production. And then we are pretty close to what I personally think the stack costs have to be in the long run to make it economically feasible with the green hydrogen.